Today on Living Local 15, we visit Draft Taproom and Coffee. This quaint coffee bar offers local brews, coffees, pastries, and pizza. We chat with their owners and explore their coffee menu. Then it's Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, and we discuss recent growth trends and how it could impact your investments. Then our Best Reviews team shares their top products for backyard barbecues. That and more happening now. Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams. This segment's sponsored by Draft Taproom and Coffee.
I am outside of Draft Taproom and Coffee located off of Wells Street. And today I'm going to take you on the inside, speak with their owners, and also try out some coffee. Let's do it. Joining me now is Kyle and Kaylee, who are the co-owners here at Draft Taproom and Coffee. Hello.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Okay, well, first off, congratulations.
Thank
I know you guys just hit 1 year being here.
Yes.
Yay. Okay, so in case people are not familiar with your tap room and coffee bar, give us an overview. What is Draft?
So I'm a graphic designer for everybody that we have on tap here, as well as our wine and food. I either do their labels or their product photography, social media, a little bit of everything. So basically we were looking to have a spot where we could highlight everybody that I work with and kind of give them a second location in a sense.
Yeah, that's a really unique concept. You really don't think of it like that. But primarily you all just have so many good beers, coffee selections, and just you want a place for people to come gather and to hang out with their friends, right?
Yes.
Yes, I love that. And so how has this experience been, just trying to get this place rolling and introduce your brands to your clients?
It's been a lot of fun, but it's been awesome kind of being a part of the Bloomingdale neighborhood and everything. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
we actually, our first house together was in this neighborhood, so it's really great to be back here, back in this community, and be a part of the growth of Wells as well.
Yes, and this spot is so cute. It's on the perfect corner right across from Headwaters Church, and I actually drive past your establishment on my way home, and I'm like, what is this cute spot? So I love being able to see it and to be able to share this with everyone. And what I really love too is y'all's story. So you're married, right? Husband-wife duo, and you're both artists.
Yes.
And so it was that joy that kind of brought this whole idea together, right? So tell me a little bit about your artistry.
I'm a sculpture major from IPFW, and she's a graphic design major from IPFW as well. So, but we always have lived 15 minutes away from each other, and then took a study abroad trip and met each other there. So
Yes. So yeah, we both took a summer school class in Italy, and that's where we met. We have both two very different skill sets. He's very hands-on, good with fine art, and I do everything on the computer. We cannot do each other's type of art, so we really balance each other out.
Yeah, and it's wild that you're both from Fort Wayne and you met in Italy.
Yeah.
Yes, and so I know that you pour kind of your artistry in two ways that your community can get involved with your weekly events that you do writings and sketches. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so every other Wednesday, we cover all of our tables with craft paper, and we encourage the community to come in, and we call it drink and draw. So you can doodle all over the tables, you can bring in your iPad and sketch on that, and then we always theme that and do drink specials along with that as well.
Okay, that is so cool. And you not only serve drinks, but you have food too. So tell us about your food selections.
Yeah.
we pair with Dom's Pie Shop here. It's actually Shop 260 doing sourdough pizzas here. So we've got a little special to us. We've got Detroit style and New York style. So this kind of makes us a little different from other people. But we also have desserts, salads, grinders, shareables. So
nice. Well, nothing goes better with pizza than beer.
Yes.
Right. So we have to talk about this beautiful selection that you have, like 20-something beers back there. How do you? I know that you decide on your clients to be on your draft, but how do you decide which ones to give a variety of selections?
Yeah, so generally what we like to do is kind of have a staple that the brewer or winemaker is proud of, that everybody is familiar with. And then we try to get a second selection of something that's more special to just that location and us. So customers are encouraged to visit the source after they've tried it here.
Okay, so perfect. And we have to talk about the name, Draft Taproom and Coffee. Where did the name originate from?
So like I mentioned in the beginning, my graphic design company is called Rough Draft. And in 2019, we named it that with hopes of having this one day. So we were kind of going for the double meaning, and that's how they kind of go together.
Yeah, that's great. And so we're going to take a moment and taste a couple of the items. You all know that I'm not going to leave without tasting some of the draft that's on tab and also some of the coffee.
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
Let's do it. Okay, so you all have jumped behind the bar to make up these really cute coffees. So tell me about your coffee menu.
Yeah, so we use all Hempton roast coffee. His roastery is out on Engle Road. It's a local roaster. So on this side here, we have one of our cold coffee drinks made with his cold brew that he made for our tap room. It's on tap. And so this is the Southern Butter Pecan. It is a cold brew coffee with vanilla in it, and the cold foam on top is Southern Butter Pecan with a caramel drizzle.
Oh yeah. What I like is not too sweet. You all know I don't like stuff too sweet. This is perfect.
Yes.
And cute. Okay, and what is this one?
Yes, so this is the cocoa caramel. It is a coffee with chocolate, a hot coffee with chocolate in it, and then it has a coconut cold foam, and then you get a chocolate caramel cookie with it on the side.
Oh, that's tasty too. And how cute is this glass? So tell me about this glass.
Yes, so if you want to talk
we love
about
thrifting here. Mostly everything in our tap room is kind of locally thrifted. So yeah, these are Fire King mugs, vintage. Every single one of our hot coffee drinks are served in one of those.
Yeah, they are super cute. And then I know that you all kind of have unique items placed around. I see vintage stuff, things that look unique, like, that looks like a one-time find.
Yeah, so we do have salt and pepper shakers at every table that are a little different. A lot of them are mine from when I was a little girl with my grandma. We have little planters everywhere. All of our chairs and tables, everything is locally thrifted. In fact, the booths that we have here are from the original Hall's restaurant, and all of our clothing merchandise is also secondhand as well.
Okay, that's awesome. And just tell me, when you're creating these unique coffee items, what inspires you? Like, how do you come up with these unique, like Southern butter pecan? Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, he's laughing. My staff actually gets really worked up because I get some crazy ideas and then they have to make those. But I don't know, I just think about kind of some flavors that would taste good together, and I have a lot of fun coming up with the names. So I just try to mix and match a little bit of everything we already have to make something new.
Yeah, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's been so great. And I want to let you all know that you can actually come out to Draft Taproom and Coffee. And if you want more information, we'll have their website listed below. But the fun's not done. Next time, I'm going to actually taste some of their pizza and beer options. I'll see you after the break.
This segment's sponsored by Draft Taproom and Coffee. Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Do you want to know the best places to go to eat and drink around Northeast Indiana? Well, join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15, weekdays at 9 a.m. as I take you inside of the best restaurants, new and old, explore their menu, and of course, mix up some cocktails. Where will I go next? Well, you'll have to watch and see, but I want to know, where do you recommend I go?
Keep up with Jessica Williams on Living Local 15, weekdays at 9.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Wealth Wednesday, where we provide you with holistic financial advice from Foster Financial's Vice President, Caleb Doan. Good morning, Caleb.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, doing good. Well, so much is growing and changing. We are now in May, and I know that there are some big changes that are happening in the market. So share with me about the recent growth trends.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's always good to kind of take a step back and look at what's happened maybe year to date or over the past year with the market. Yeah. And we've seen things, go up, which has been really great. That's the direction we like to move. A lot of times when people think about, looking at what the market has done, people typically think about the S&P 500.
Okay.
And so, the S&P 500 is up really big over the last year. But one kind of interesting caveat about that is it's really the top 7 companies in the S&P 500 that have carried it so far.
Oh.
So sometimes people they know that the S&P 500 is made up of, 500 companies,
right.
Of course. But one thing people might not realize is that it's not evenly distributed between those 500 companies, the kind of weight of the index. So the top 7 companies, since they're larger companies, make up a much larger portion of the S&P 500. So if it was just evenly distributed, 7 out of 500, that's like 1.5%.
Yeah.
In reality, those top 7 companies carry about 30% of the weight of the S&P 500.
And so what does that stand for?
S&P, it's like Standard & Poor's, 500. It's just like a rating agency now, but they're just the ones who originally created that index, and it's supposed to be an example of how the overall economy is doing, just looking at those top 500 companies. But since those largest companies carry such a big weight of the S&P 500, sometimes you might not get as much diversification as you think you're getting within the S&P 500. You think you're across these 500 companies maybe evenly. In reality, if you're in a S&P 500 index fund, 30% of that investment is just in those top 7 companies.
Okay, so these are the top 500 companies that are performing best, or that people are more likely to invest in?
Just the largest 500 companies in the United States.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly.
And so people are kind of moving around their stocks to diversify it by investing in these specific companies?
So, I mean, in the S&P 500, people invest in it because it gives you that diversification. But since those big companies have grown so much, they kind of control an outsized portion of the S&P 500. And so those top 7 companies have really carried the S&P 500 over the past, year here. They've done really, really well, and they've kind of carried the S&P 500 up with it. One of the questions that a lot of people have now is that expected to continue? Do we think that those top 7 are still going to drastically outperform, or maybe is it time for the bottom, 493 to start catching up? And so, that's one of the things that we've looked at. Maybe adding to some of our clients' portfolios is more exposure to those maybe smaller, mid-sized companies as opposed to just those top 7.
And so what really determines how well the company is doing in that? Is it just their own profit growth? Is it their revenue? Like, if those top 7 companies are doing best and well, then wouldn't it be smart for people to stay with them than to diversify, or do they kind of hold a monopoly?
Yeah, I mean, it totally depends on the future expected growth of those companies, right?
Okay.
So typically the market will treat your company well as if there is expectation of future dividends, future growth, future profit from that company. And so one of the things we look at is kind of what they call multiples for a company, which is how many multiples of earnings that company has that is built into its stock price. And right now, those largest 7 companies, which are all household names, it's Google, it's Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, all of those big companies, their multiples are very, very high. And so some people look at that and say, hey, I think it's maybe a little expensive right now to invest in those companies. Maybe we want some with lower multiples that are at a little bit more of a discount.
Okay, so what is the biggest thing investors should do right now? Like, how should they navigate these waters?
Yeah, one of the things to look at is the overall diversification of your portfolio. There's probably a lot of people out there who, inside their 401k, they're invested in an S&P 500 index fund. And it's possible that doesn't give you as much diversification as maybe you think. And so one of the things is, you can add an exposure to some mid-cap companies, some small-cap companies, and that kind of broadens your diversification so that your portfolio isn't just determined by what Google does or what Apple does or what Amazon does. It's much broader than that.
So overall, would you say the market has done good, well, bad,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been great. We love to see what it's been doing over the past year, and that's why, when the market goes up, it can be a good time to take a look and say, hey, am I out of tolerance in certain things? The S&P has done really well, and maybe this other fund that I'm in hasn't done as well. Maybe it's time to rebalance across those.
Time to rebalance. All right. Well, thank you so much, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, we'll have their phone number listed below, so you can give them a call for a complimentary consultation. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Wake up with us on WANE 15's First News every weekday morning.
We'll bring you the local news you need to start your day.
Stay with CBS Mornings at 7 on WANE 15.
We've got the overnight breaking news and in-depth reporting.
And uplifting stories to start your day off right.
Then at 9, watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams. Hey, Jessica.
We're talking food, fun, and everything going on in Northeast Indiana.
First News, CBS Mornings.
And then Living Local 15.
A great way to start your day.
Every day.
Warmer weather means dusting off the grill and firing it up for your next backyard barbecue. Joining us now with the top tested products to make you the grill master this summer is Senior Director of Content Operations from BestReviews.com, Jacob Palmer. Jacob, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks so much for having me. Every week we get to talk about awesome things, but this is truly one of my favorites because it means so much more than just making delicious food. It means you're outside, it means you've got friends around, it means that it is that beautiful time of year.
You're bringing us some of the best products to keep us at the top of our grill game. So what are we starting off with first?
So starting off hot, and I mean that literally. These are Le Creuset. They have a new line of cast iron that's perfect for the grill. What I would totally recommend with this is when you get it onto the grill, say you're making something like chicken fajitas, or you want to be able to do the veggies on the grill as well. That is an awesome complement to whatever you're doing.
This is so cool. I love that. I don't think I've ever seen this or thought of like having the pan on the barbecue. So I love all the options that this is going to be able to give you for all of your summer meals. But so you might need to keep some things cool as well. So what is it?
What Igloo is doing with this one is they're really bringing the aesthetic forward. And so this is a really cool kind of 90s style, almost like a fanny pack. If you're going over to somebody's house and they're having the barbecue, you can bring your own, personal supply of beverages this way. And this is one of those products that usually stands up. Igloo is one of our absolute favorites because they live at that perfect intersection of, number one, getting the job done, keeps your drinks cool, and then number two, they're affordable and they're easy to get no matter where you're looking.
I just love that this is so stylish. So when you're bringing over those cool snacks or drinks, you're going to look cool with this little retro cooler. Well, you can't have good food on the barbecue without the perfect seasonings, right?
This is another one that just steps your game up a little bit, right? This is from a small woman-owned business in Chicago. They have a little bit of something for everybody. You'll be able to find the brand in the QR code at the end of this segment and be able to, pick and choose which different varieties you want. They look nice, they're well presented, and then they make the food delicious.
Well, this is kind of all in one, all the things that you need. That's going to have your flavors just popping off this summer. I love that. Well, you can't become a grill master without the perfect grill.
The grill, of course. And so this is perfect, and it's our favorite for people who are, like I was talking about earlier, maybe space is at a premium. They don't have the space in their yard or their balcony or whatever to be able to have a huge grill. This unit from Kenmore is awesome because, as you can see, you can easily place it on a table. You can put it away when you're done. It's got really great grill rack on it too, and the way that they have it set up, setup with the burners inside means that you get a good even heat distributed across the entire unit. Sets in well with a propane tank, so it's nice and easy. You don't really think too much. You don't want to be fumbling with charcoal or anything like that. So we love it for that reason. But if you're looking for something bigger, a really hot item right now is the Blackstone line of products. And that's another great one, really easy to clean.
A lot of people city living, if you have smaller space, this will be perfect. But then of course, if you want the big granddaddy, you got that as well. Okay, well, we also at a barbecue, at a cookout, we need somewhere comfortable to sit and lounge.
It's from Park It, and they have their own seat line here that kind of has it all. Number one, it breaks down really small, so you can carry it easily. But then the real seller here is that it comes with the cooler on it itself.
And I love anything that does two jobs in one.
That's
Jacob,
right.
These are all amazing products that are going to kick off everyone's summer barbecues just perfectly. Thank you.
And thanks so much for having me.
Yes, of course. If you want to learn more about any of these grilling products from Best Reviews, you can scan the QR code on your screen, or you can head on over to bestreviews.com.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.